Hello everybody and welcome to Sagittarius time. So as of today, November the 22nd, we will be having 30 days of Saggy time. So happy birthday to all Saggies, and hopefully this reading finds you well. So what actually I figured out over the 2 months of obsessing and finding the balance between what I can do and what I want to do, I would love that everybody gets hour to 2 to 3 hours readings, but it just reality is I don't have that much time. So what I'll be doing, each birthday sign each month is going to have a little bigger reading. However, I'm going to go to the old format where we will have tarot and Gypsy and Lenormand, and it was a winner. All of you liked it because it targets all of you, single, relationship, on and off, the other people we kind of like can get laid off the land. Also guys, before I forget, please, I'm just about to finish my annual scopes, and this is the last call for a pre-order price. Until the 4th of the month, for each individual scope it's $19.95, and for all of them it's $39.95. I have actually placed a preview. Wait for the end of this video and you will be able to click and get a really preview for the next year, so you can decide if this is what you want. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump. It is November, December 2017. We are finalizing the year. Hi Gemini. So December 2017, it's almost over, but what's up with you guys? Solitude? Do you really need to take some time for yourself this month? Maybe to spend the morning, afternoon, or maybe even the entire day by yourself? I think you need some kind of unplanned and unstructured time. It seems to me like whenever we get into kind of this card, it looks like the senses have been overexposed. And you guys are the sign that is linked to technology. So if your little devices are keeping you alert all the time, try to at least put your phone on do not disturb and see how actually this can actually calm your nerves, because your air sign, air highly reacts to this type of kind of messaging. So this is kind of situation also that allows you to pass through any self-constructed barriers and enjoy the peace and quiet. Think that is actually almost a recharge. It seems to me that you have been seeking and seeking and seeking things, but maybe it was really hard to find. Innocence is reversed here. The Creator is reversed here. Firm foundation is reversed. Seek the truth is reversed. Holy smoke. And then you have solar plexus chakra. So this is telling me that you are kind of like feeling, maybe you have lost your innocence, maybe you have lost your power. You just are starting this month with exhaustion, I would say. You're just not powering up. Like the button is like not only off, but it's broken. You cannot find it, you cannot push it in. It seems to me that maybe, you know, for quite a while you have been functioning sort of like just barely functioning, let's say, and I don't know if you had a back pain. Usually this triangle over here designated is connecting to us having issues moving forward. This is that mountain inside of us, as you can see it in this beautiful card. Facing the mountain, sometimes it just like makes us get tired even before we go. So it's one of those days when you have to wake up and drag yourself out of the bed and kind of justify yourself that you actually have to pay your bills and go there, because everything becomes so overwhelming. Everything is telling me here, maybe you didn't want to see something. This is my most basically disliked card in all decks. Seven of Swords. Seek the truth. Maybe something has been very painful to realize. Maybe you were not able to find a tear. Maybe people took away something from you. Maybe it was cheating, maybe even stealing, some kind of sneaky behavior. This reversed is telling me that maybe all that takes is to really go inside. Maybe you were seeking these truths in the wrong places, because it looks like there is like something about the connectivity with another person, and this being reversed is telling me that you're kind of like getting it, okay, I get it, I have to do that. This card is generally connecting to Moon in Aquarius, meaning completely detachment with emotions. So look at this, look at his solar plexus chakra, and then you're getting a card, solar plexus chakra. So something, and this innocence is also the sun. Confidence, guys. Confidence is an issue this month. There is a huge amount of problems that basically keep on going on, that maybe you tried to solve, and maybe it was a barrier to solving them for some reason. And for you, it seemed like that it was a fundamental to find some explanation, which maybe others didn't give it to you, because it looks like for some reason things were just no starter. That's going to change. It looks like I see distinctly now at this stage for all signs that up to the 20th there is one energy. And yes, some of us are going to be affected with Mercury retrograde. Mercury is your ruler, so you will basically have to also roll with the punches with the rest of us. But then the things are changing for you. You're saying, that's it, I am moving forward. You're taking the sword out and you're like going on a new path. And I think most of everything, it was important to find out that you can trust yourself. You see, this kind of open-hearted embracement is building this new confidence, because whenever the solar plexus chakra comes forward, it tells me that there are issues with how you perceive others, or how others perceive you, in kind of like this give and take, and maybe feeling confident about who you are, speaking up in a good way. And yeah, seeking this truth maybe that you didn't get. It doesn't mean that people have to give it to you, right? People don't have to give anything to us. But this is not to say that we cannot figure out this without them. So with solar plexus chakra, I would spend time in the sun, really. In the northern hemisphere, we have now less sun. It's becoming more difficult, but this is almost essential to kind of rebuild your core. That is kind of that has to come there. Look, you need to kind of like feel this rays on you. The trust card is more or less saying you need to trust in the positive outcomes, that things will work out eventually. Not maybe every step of the way will be exact fit to where you need to go, but you're going to meander around these little stones, and the river is still going to find the ocean. That's kind of the trust that this is requiring. You will find a way. And this is kind of that safety in you saying, look, whenever you have the swords, they're cutting two ways, right? This is cutting one way, this is cutting another way. So you have to cut certain things that are maybe even dear to you in order to make it work. But you also have to cut out the people who maybe are not helpful to your situation. So I don't know if there was a three-party situation over here, guys. It could have been. You have to ask yourself if you were the one who kind of like wanted to push yourself in the faces of the others. If that's the case, you need to reassess if you bullied somebody. If this is not the case, then maybe you feel somebody pushed you into some kind of like new feeling of inadequacy, because these two cards together are definitely talking about instability. Like, I mean, but this is kind of like good. You're kind of understanding that maybe you kind of clustered yourself in the little space thinking that you're protecting yourself, but basically what happened, just started to brew in that little space, and it kind of like really needs to open up for things to kind of like work out. So let's see what is the tarot portion saying. Gemini, this is very, very interesting. For starters, there's some cards that are repeating, but let me first tell you what we have. We had Five of Swords over there. It was upright, now it's reversed. This is your card, Gemini, the Lovers. Then we have Knight of Pentacles reversed. We have the Moon reversed. We also had Four of Pentacles. Remember the Mountain and the Triangle? This was also reversed previously. Now this is the center, basically stage over here. We have Nine of Wands reversed. Excuse me. We have Five of Pentacles reversed. We have the Death. And then we have the Wheel. So, 4 majors. Why do I stress majors? Sorry, I'm talking too much today and I can barely talk. I always say majors because majors are literally homework you have to do. This rest of the stuff is like nice to have. Kind of you can modify, but this is something that is sort of like must have, something that you really have to kind of pay attention to, deal with. Sort of like this month to get to your karmic kind of like destination. This is kind of like what I recommend. I meaning karma. I am just a channel. I'm not giving lessons to anybody. So the central card is again focusing on taking those walls down. Looks like you have been doing this already, and this is like a loud and clear message. For doing that, you have to give up on something or on somebody, something that is not working out. This is coming from all the sides. You have to become yourself. If you're not yourself in any situation, this is not a good situation for you to be at that moment. Again, we have this same element of win or lose. In this particular case, could be that everybody lost something, that maybe because you have 2 5s again over here, there you have the 5 and a 7, kind of like instability. 5s are generally when you kind of like get something off their feet, when you kind of pull the rug under somebody's feet, right? So here this is talking about, again, maybe to the other people that have been participating in all this thing and being left out in the cold and kind of like slowly getting back on your feet, because I can see that some kind of circumstances from the past are still resonating with you in the present, but they are not moving with you in the future, and this is the month where this stops. When death shows up this way, you know, things are just like coming to its conclusion. Something really needs to stop, right? The death generally talks about transformation as well, but it looks like this element of the choice, because the Lover's card is generally and ultimately about the choice. Do I really want to stay where I am? This is like almost like that wheel, karmic wheel. Do I really want to, am I pleased with what I have right now, or should I maybe continue and conquer something? As I said, I kind of see that could have been a third party. It could have been something that has been activated inside of you, that is sort of like subconscious, that has been coming to the fore. There could be issues, because I see this diagonal definitely talking about work or money, or kind of figuring out what makes you stable, because I think you may have experienced some issues with your work. Maybe you have been laid off from your company. Maybe it was something that you didn't expect and yet it happened. Maybe it was a product of arguing or something that was like long coming, but even though when it happened, it just still kind of like was a difficult thing to accept. Maybe this was a situation that in a sense humbled you and made you even more loving, because maybe you have noticed that you neglected other people. But this can also talk about a relationship, that somebody either left you or you left someone in a cold. And the truth is that this card means repair. This card is also calling to tell us that not everything that shines is gold, meaning you shouldn't be just focused on material goods, because this is asking that certain way of thinking that you had has to stop, because a certain way of thinking was attracting to you some circumstances and people that have not been the best for you. The last few days, I would say Christmas on, let's go from the 20th. You're still going to kind of like deal with, should I not go? Should I go forward? Should I not go forward? You have like this Knight of Pentacles, which always is a test. It is something financial. It's something about the stability. And it's kind of like wondering about your choices, if they are good enough. Mind you, the Lovers can also mean you have two things to consider, because the choice means, do I want to left, do I want to right? Do I want to be with somebody, do I don't want to be with somebody? Do I want a job? Do I want a relationship? But sort of like you feel that you have to make this choice, and then you're dragging your feet about that, and maybe even giving up on kind of making this distinction. This kind of talks about being really tired, being really tired of everything at this stage, kind of like I am wounded warrior, and kind of like, please leave me alone kind of a thing. But karma is not going to leave you alone. Karma is saying, hello, let me knock on your door. I see karma basically happening for many signs, and something will be turning. And for you guys, this Wheel of Fortune is turning. So something will be happening if you put to rest things that have to be placed to rest. Things that kind of like don't have the purpose anymore. Just focus on the positive. That something really needs to die, because maybe something better will come out of it. Or come next. One door closes, another one opens. You need to be true to yourself. You need to kind of notice these dark sides of yourself and the light side of yourself. And there is this like move. You're moving on. There is something that is going to finally start to roll, and it's going to happen just like that. You're going to feel, going through the motions, working on you, taking down your walls down is going to be a biggie. And I would say do not focus on the material, because that's the false exit. Focus on you. Focus on being you, what you truly want, what your soul wants, what you truly desire, and that's the best path to follow. So let's hear Lenormand next. Okay guys, we have two major significators in Lenormand, the gentleman and the lady. So there is like not much going on in between you and your partner if you have one. Or if you don't have one, it looks like you're maybe spending time about wanting somebody and wanting this person to come to you. I see this, there's some kind of fate or something karmic is in place that basically keeps going on. And you're maybe, some of you are considering cutting off the partner. The others dating. So it's kind of like that duality that you guys have. Do I want to go forward? Do I want to go backward? How do I continue in this, and in which direction do I continue? This is kind of like really interesting, because the heart is basically in the sign of the fate, in the house of the fate. And we also have the Covenant and Cross together, which means like something really is in the workings. You need to shake something off. And I can see that you're not feeling your best for some reason. This is the communication that I was telling you. Maybe you need to quiet down the chatter, because it looks like lots of things will be happening. Lots of things. Somebody from the past might be coming back to your life. And that person from the past will want something serious. The ring, the heart, and the sun. Make sure not to screw it up. It could be a small thing that kind of sets this person off in a different direction. Now, for some of you, this is going to be the time when you're kind of trying to get yourself in shape. So you're kind of like getting 1 month ahead from everybody else, kind of like you are having December 1st resolution versus January 1st resolution. And this is kind of like your dedication to, where is this tree? Where is the tree over here? Yeah, that's where I saw. dedication to kind of like living a healthier life. I think kind of like you feel a little bit out of balance. You might have somebody who is a long distance, something that maybe you did cut off. It's kind of weird, cut off, but then you kind of like want to anchor down. So again, do I want to go forward? Do you want to stay? Do I want to go? Do I want to stay? You know, see how's an anchor, where do I want to be, or where do I want to move on? There is like some kind of moving on, but this moving on again includes the partner, because there's still communication and kind of dating over here, and there's like a key to some kind of solution. So this is going to be at the very least interesting. You might be tempted, or your partner might be tempted. There is somebody else showing up, somebody who is really well off. That could be that part that is saying something is coming in the pot. This is not going to be a simple situation that you're doing. So one person is really kind of like intense, wants to do something really serious. Give me the ring, give me the love, promise the love, and let's go to the city hall. And when we are there, let's make a child. Sort of like a whoosh situation. The other person is a little bit more complex. It could be somebody you know from work, or it could be work related, but doesn't have to be. And this other person is kind of like well off. It's not the same kind of a game, right? So Geminis, something will be happening really, really big for you coming up in the next few months. This month is just a prep month. Like the end of December, it's going to give you this little kind of glimpse into what is to happen. And if you really want to get this entire year to really know, I think it's good to pre-order your tarot scope while it's still kind of on a special for $19.95, or get them all that I have for $39.95. Check out my website. So what we will do next, we are going to do your Gypsy spreads. So Gypsy and Lenormand differ because with Lenormand you sort of like see situational kind of aspects, and with Gypsy we are going to see people and feelings and what's coming from where. Okay, so let's do this next. Alright guys, so we have in this Gypsy spread 52 cards. Nobody does it that I've seen, especially not for a sign. So sometimes I do that for the bigger readings. We have few significators. We have wife. Could be wife, could be person with children. But then again, it does happen sometimes that this could be you. Then a young woman. Foe, which can be us as well. Sweetheart can be ladies or somebody single. Lord can be somebody who is in a serious relationship or somebody who is established. And then a lover, somebody who is also seeking things out. So as you can see, kind of like they're like positioned in a kind of really strange way. So it could be that some of you have a rival. Some of you, again, I see this exhaustion. I see kind of things are getting hard. Maybe there are issues with with money. Maybe. If honey is your business, well, issues with money, issues with secrets are still happening, like on quite a few fronts. Kind of like you're putting certain things to rest, trying to kind of move on and deal with things. You're still doubting people. You're waiting on something, but you're doubting who is real, who's false. And you know what is the worst part? Is like you're so tired of thinking. It's like what I said, like what you had is like solitude, the island. This thoughts part is reversed, and like you just cannot take it. Like you're like so tired of feeling sorry for yourself, for the whole situation. Some of you. Maybe this kind of means that you had a rival in the past and things just kind of like worked, that both of you kind of have been placed in a corner and things just kind of didn't work out. Now, for the others of you, you also have a rival, somebody much younger. There is a young woman over here. And you're really wondering how to deal with that. Because there has been something serious going on, even though you have been aware on some level that there were some kind of secrets connected to the same situation. So some of you are going to feel very comfortable being on your own. It's kind of very strange. I'm distinctly seeing different messages. So this could be completely different messages from Lenormand, because I have seen two levels over there that somebody really wants to go all the way, which with this wedding card, which here is reversed. So somebody doesn't really want to go this way. Something that has been going on, moving forward. You see, there's this choice, like, well, I do want to marry, but maybe I don't. And maybe I don't because I think this is like a loss of my freedom. You're really, really, really questioning, especially if somebody was not really completely convincing that this is what the person will be there for life. That's what's not going to happen. You also are kind of tired of talking. It's just like kind of, I don't want to know, I don't care. The secrets are secrets. I was trying to figure out. Maybe there was even a renegotiation, and kind of like you spent some, I would say, sleepless nights, because look at this, like that could be some kind of long distance relationship for you guys. But there is also this feeling of being stuck. This again goes down to kind of relax. You need to ease off everything, because we have the melody next to these two gentlemen. So this is kind of like both of them are cutting in here as well. As for sweetheart, we see somebody, older lady here, somebody who maybe she knows well. That could be her mother, or could be somebody she confides with. That can be a therapist, or that can be a tarot reader. And you know, it is kind of like trying to figure out different messages happening in which kind of like situation to go through. One thing is for sure, stabilizing yourself is kind of really, really important this month. And there we have the love with wife. So it might be any of you ladies. There is like somebody who is having these joyful events and love and gifts, and there is a little bit of jealousy, there is a little bit of drama going on there as well, but there is like this baby, and just like what we saw in the Lenormand, so there is like, I would say 25% of you will actually go in that direction. It's going to literally like think for the movies, kind of going to be very interesting. So I think it's going to be very important to figure out who you are. I think that's the duality. This is why your card came out. The duality is really something that can mess most of us up, and you have to live with that. You have been born under that sign. So it is, I guess, this month really in a full display, kind of like, what is it you really want? Be a friend to yourself instead of the enemy, right? Because I really don't see, for some of you don't want to reconnect. Some of you do want to connect, but are still hurting over something else, and something is making it impossible. And few of you will connect, but sort of like on your own terms. So this is kind of interesting that I'm having so many storylines. But you're definitely trying to figure out what is true, what is not true. Ha! Rock bottom. Actually, this is a great card, because you know what? It is only one way up, right? From this point on. So this is what it says. Surrender and acceptance are the keys to freedom. As difficult as may be to accept, it seems that you have reached a point where you can go no further in the same manner in which you have been doing things. Perhaps you have hit the proverbial brick wall, or experienced a deep sense of loss and don't know where to turn. The old way of doing things must be discarded fully in order to move onward and upward. A new direction and a new strategy are called for. The only way out is through surrender. Accept things as they are and admit that you have no idea what to do next. If you wait in that heartfelt moment of release, then a stairway will appear. Like magic, and all manner of synchronicities will show you the way to the higher ground. The rock bottom card is a sign that a miracle is about to occur, but only if you let go completely. And I think it actually really summarizes nicely, because we have seen this through all these other emotions, that there is kind of push and pull in two directions. Sometimes we really need to crash and burn in order to know, okay, so what is important when I'm down here? Do I really need to carry all these burdens? Who are the people who are going to show me, give me the hand? Who are going to people who are going to push me even more, or not even care in which kind of predicament I am? Because I have seen this through different people, through different emotions. You're really questioning things, and also there is like a working of fate over here. So rock bottom is good, because the only way is up. So Gemini, check your pre-order, because it's still on special. But I have to see that something around the 25th, around Christmas time, you are going to be far from the bottom. It's going to be going up in a really good direction. So kind of shed everything that you don't need. And until the next month, love you. All the best.